Hello and good day, beautiful soul. It's been a few days since we last connected with you, and today we are going to be sharing with you how all the answers, the guidance, the signs, and the messages are in the silence. All you seek is in the silence. And welcome back to another episode of Wisdom of the Angels. Live the life you're destined to live. And today's angel is Iahel. Let me type that in the comments here for you. It is Iahel. He is the angel of meditation. He is the angel of silence, actually. And he will help you calm down your conscious mind. Some people call it the ego chitter, or ego, or consciousness, and I kind of lump it all together just to make it simple. Conscious mind, ego, chitter, chatter, because we need the mind, we need our consciousness, otherwise we wouldn't be here fully, right? And the other part is if there's too much noise, meaning if there's this cycle of thoughts that are always going around, whatever the subject may be, things could be going really well or starting to go well, and all of a sudden, boop, there's a little thought. And off and running it goes. It goes down a rabbit hole. It goes down memory lane. It goes up to worry in the future. The thing, and there's always a thing, right? Here's the thing. The conscious mind, your ego, whatever label you want to put on it, beautiful soul, it has a really hard time. It is difficult. It is an extreme challenge to stay in the moment because then it has nothing to do, nothing to help you worry about, nothing to cause trouble, to procrastinate, to distract you, and the list can go on. So how does being in the silence help? And so many of my clients used to, and if they've stopped practicing, then they may find this to be true again for them. And in the beginning, I found it to be impossible to sit still 5 minutes without speaking, without doing something, and being quiet. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen. So I figured out a way to help me keep my conscious mind, my ego, from taking off and running amok as soon as I closed my eyes, just to listen to some soft music and just kind of take a breath and just decompress. Now, for me, it's usually easier first thing in the morning or right after a workout. And the reason for that is because I'm not fully engaged yet in the day's activity, so there's less going on in my head. And after the gym, I have just cycled out a bunch of energy and had a pretty good workout. But here's the technique that I figured out that helps. And especially if you haven't been meditating for a while, or you want to start or get back to it or try something different, because sitting in the silence and waiting or trying or struggling to get the ego, the conscious mind, to be quiet is a challenge. Because as soon as you close your eyes, all of these thoughts come up. And so how do you work with that? A simple way is to pick a spot, any spot in your home or bedroom that you can always use the same spot, the same chair, preferably sitting up. You can absolutely do a yoga pose sitting on the floor. I'm not a floor sitter, so I like a chair, and I have one chair that I use for meditation, and I'll sit in that chair in my garden, and I'll journal, and I'll channel from the angels for myself, and it's just that one spot. And what happens when you have one spot is that over time you build up an energy, kind of like a vortex or a center of energy. So even on those days where there's just so much going on in your life, that even a guided meditation or this simple technique just really doesn't quite help you get there. When you sit in that spot, your body and your energy, your soul, they get benefit because it's like, okay, we're in our quiet spot. Even if or when there are all of these thoughts going on in your mind. Okay, so here's the technique. You light a white or pink candle. White is for protection and purity, and pink is for unconditional love. You can use other colors, absolutely. I prefer white or pink because they're pretty universal, and it helps the conscious mind not focus on what the color represents, like green for money, red for a relationship, yellow or orange for manifesting, and so forth, okay? So white or pink, you light the candle, you pick out your spot, you can have crystals nearby, and then play some soft music, and then and set a timer if you want, for 5 minutes. And you keep your eyes open. Your focus is on the flame of the candle and your breathing. So you just okay? And you do that for 5 minutes. If you do that every day, whether it's the same time of day or not, does not matter. If you're doing it every day for the next 7 to 10 days, you will notice a difference in how you approach things. This is a very stressful time of the year. We could say that about just about any time of year, but especially during the holidays, everything is amped up. Traffic, tempers, right? Got to get a million things done and this and that, no matter where you are in the world. So meditating, even for 5 minutes, just to stop. Because the more you're able to get these thoughts to stop going around and around and around and around, the more you're going to be able to be aware of, to catch, to hear, to notice the signs, the messages, and the guidance that you're being given. Here's an example of that. When you're in a room or a car or someplace where the music or the volume is so loud that not only does your body vibrate, but everything in the area, in the vicinity, is vibrating. And there's someone like right here to your ear, and they're yelling, and you still can barely hear them. That's what it's like when your conscious mind ego chitter chatter is going full blast. And there are always thoughts in your mind. How are you possibly going to hear your guides? How are you possibly going to catch the subtle nuances of signs and answers and messages to the questions you have about your path, your relationships, your work, what next direction to take, or how to move about and to rewire your vibe, for example? It's near impossible. So Iahel will help you with that. He is all about peace and harmony, helping you to connect with your inner self, grounding excess energy of any kind, excitement, and it's not to bring you down. It's to help you balance the excitement with what else you need to be doing, because then you can stay focused, then you can become more attuned or tuned in, tapped in, and you can tap into your inner self, to the inner intuitive guidance that you're getting, to the signs. Maybe you're driving along and you look up at this billboard that has probably been there for 3 or 4 years or maybe 6 months, and all of a sudden you notice it. You've seen it before, but it's like it pops out at you with more energy. That could very well be a message or an answer to one of the questions that you've asked. Maybe you're going to get an answer in an email from a friend who doesn't even know that you're thinking about XYZ, but you talked about some other things and they say, yeah, I like elemental P and 1, 2, 3, and this is going to be great for you. And you go, got it. Got it. When you quiet, when you sit in the silence, when you breathe, you release so much energy. Ask Iahel to help you. When you do that, you are going to start feeling within a short amount of time better about yourself, hectic or not. This angel, hey Anna, Iahel helps publishers, so authors who are wanting to publish books, people who like to be in the silence and to tap into their guides and tapping into what it is they want to do. And perhaps you're a healer, a reader, a life coach, a graphic designer, thank you, beautiful, someone who works with others or working for someone else, but you have that creative side. And sometimes it's just like, oh my goodness, if I could just have a moment. And then poof, the idea just floats in like a feather. And if it's really loud in here, you're going to miss it. That's a promise. That's a truth. If you're not paying attention, now this isn't about obsessing and, oh my God, now I've got to watch every single thought. No, just quiet. Just have quiet time. Just have quiet time. Just quiet. And all of a sudden, you can get more done in the same amount of time, not so you can pile more stuff into your day, but that you have more day in your time to do other things or nothing. How cool is that? So let me check my notes one more time on Angel Iahel. Yes, thank you. So the inner reflection, that's part of what meditation is all about. And as you become a little practiced, like a couple days in a row. Now, if you miss a day, don't beat yourself up. Just start again. You're not starting over. You're just beginning again. Okay? And so where we were going just a second ago was you can ask a question. So if you want a question answered, or you have a question to ask, you can take it into meditation with you. And our suggestion is to have a notebook, write down the question, and I'd leave a page. So even if you don't get something right then, you've asked. And maybe you don't have enough information yet, or you haven't sifted through enough of your own work or read something yet to trigger the answer. So if you have a notebook, then just leave it blank on one page. The question is this the next program that I am to do, or whatever it is? Should I go for the promotion? Should I look for another job? What about massage therapy school, or whatever it is you're working with, beautiful soul? And then just leave the page blank. We're trying to mesh words together again. Leave the page blank and come back to it. That way you have room to write, because often it can be a one-word answer, it can be a sentence, it can be a paragraph. So you want to have lots of space, because once you write down the guidance or the answer that you get, more than likely that's going to trigger, in a positive way, more for you to do about that thing, or to heal and release and let go of something else that you're working on within yourself. So Angel Iahel, I''A''H''E''L. So that's I''A''H''E''L, and it's in the comments there for you. I typed out his name. The action step. And we're switching things up a little bit. Rather than just asking you a question, we're going to be, as far as I know, giving you a little something to try, to work with, to practice. It doesn't take hours. something practical and down to earth to use to help you raise your vibe, connect to your guides, tap into the angels, tap into your inner self, your gifts, all of that, or some of it. So today's action step for the next 5 to 10 days, or 7 to 10 days, practice meditating using, just light a candle, play some soft music with your eyes open. You focus on the flame and you're breathing, and that's it. And that's all you have to do. It is super simple. It's super easy. And 5 minutes a day can, if you allow it, if you practice it, transform your life, raise your vibe, ground you, and open up your mind. Please do like, heart, share this video, and let it come back. Say hello if you have any questions about this simple technique or connecting with EIHEL. And in the days ahead, if you're having any issues or some difficulty with the meditation technique, or you just want to share how you feel, please do pop that in the comments. I'll be back round. Thank you for being with us again today, and have an amazing day, beautiful soul. Bye-bye for now.